the pouring out scripture of the Bible, Ephesians, the book of Ephesians, the 4th chapter, find out that he thought it not robbery.
Yeah. Right.
To make himself equal to God.
Yeah. All right.
In other words, he did not diminish the Godhead by any sense.
Right.
Or any stretch, but yet he was man. He was the Son of God.
Yes.
Well, the Bible tells us that the same Spirit that raised Jesus from the grave is the same Spirit that abides in you and me. So the same Spirit that Christ had is the same Spirit you and I have. So in our actuality, I might not be as perfect as Jesus, but I got the stuff in me to help me get over myself. I got what I need on the inside to help me get over my shortcomings and my pitfalls. Baby, I may be born in sin and shaped in iniquity, but baby, I ain't got to live like a hell in my whole entire life. If I got the Spirit of God, I have what I need. I believe that the best scene of Jesus' faith when he suffered from stress and depression. Reverend, what? Jesus suffered from stress and depression. Well, make it plain, Reverend. Make that plain to me. Well, while Jesus prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane, the Bible said that he sweat drops like blood. That is a medical condition.
That's right.
That is brought about by extreme stress. What he was facing was that his life was to be placed on the altar for sacrifice. And though he was God, the human side of him understood what was about to take place. And it caused him to stress to a point to where he began to sweat drops like blood. And so he endured extreme stress, but he rested in the hands of his Father. He said it like this. While he prayed, he said, Father, if it be thy will, let this bitter cup pass from me. But nevertheless, not my will, but thine will be done. I may have to die, but Lord, if I die, let me die in you. He suffered stress.
No doubt.
But he had faith in his Father. Not faith that God would cause it to pass from him, but faith that God knows better. And God's way is always better. You may have a good idea, but if it's not God's idea, it's no good. You may have a good notion about something, but if it is not the will of God, it's not the best thing for you. Look, sometimes the best thing for you is to go down. Sometimes the best thing for you is to get sick. Sometimes the best thing for you is to be broke. Sometimes the best thing for you is to lose that man, lose that girl, lose adversary. He knew his life was on the line. And this morning, knowing the life of Jesus, Peter begins to expound on the upcoming fiery trial of the people of God. But he teaches them from the example of Christ. As we seen throughout the book of 1 Peter, his continual example is Jesus himself. How Jesus suffered. How Jesus sacrificed. How Jesus stayed the course. And so he tells them your fiery trials are coming. And that's strange because just as a sidebar, amen, Nero, who was before the writing of 1 Peter, he was known for taking Christians. Matter of fact, Christians were blamed for the burning of Rome. And Nero would take Christians and pour pitch on them and set them on fire and then use them as human torches in the garden.
That's right.
So the Christians knew what a fiery trial was. And Peter takes time to address this issue. First thing he lets us know, he says, listen, you must have a Christ-like consciousness. You must have a Christ-like consciousness. What does that mean? What is a Christ-like consciousness? A Christ-like consciousness is to have a Christ-like view of reality. Look at what he said. The first thing he tells them is that in this time, he said, have an eternal focus. That's what he said. He said, beloved, do not be surprised at the fiery trial when it come upon you to test you as though something strange were happening to you. Don't be surprised. He said, because the trials come in order to make you better. The trials come to make you better. Listen, in Mark 8:32 through 33, Jesus tells his disciples of his coming crucifixion. Peter stands and boldly tells Jesus that his prediction of death is wrong. It's wrong. No, Jesus, you're not going to die. Not as long as I'm standing. Jesus responds with a strong rebuke. Now watch this. To Peter, that fiery trial that Jesus was about to face was strange and maybe even unnecessary. Because why do you need to die and you here right now? I see the miracles that you're doing. Why do you need to die now? There is no reason for you to have to die now. But Jesus says, get behind me, Satan. Although Peter's argument may have some carnal validity to it, it makes a little sense. It makes some sense to it. He's here. Why he need to die? He's already walking with me. Why he need to walk to Calvary? It has some carnal validity to it. His argument may have had some carnal validity, but it was against the purpose of God. It was God's purpose that Jesus was to endure the suffering. And people, we might not shout this morning, but I need you to know something. You have to understand that God purposes pain in order to progress you. Listen, God makes it hard in order for you to make it over. See, listen, if God never made you climb a mountain or two, you would never appreciate the apex when you got there. If God never made you go through a valley every now and then, when you came on the other side and seen daybreak, you wouldn't appreciate the sun as much as you do. His argument has some carnal validity, but it was against the purpose of God. And God purposes pain for a progression. You see, Jesus knew that God ordained that the beauty of salvation will come at the expense of Calvary. Even though Jesus' path would end in blood.